Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua's off-grid hybrid is rocking dual ACs while charging his batteries on cloudy days thanks to a new rack of panels. He also gets all the leaves removed and some new bug zappers. Well, it's Easter morning. Happy Easter. I have got to spend the last 2 days in a row with air conditioning running till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Yesterday, I went ahead and turned on that extra air conditioner. My big TV has been on until 10 o'clock in the evening with my subwoofers and surround sound going. And this is the third morning in a row I woke up with 50% left on my batteries as the sun's coming up. How do I do it? Well, let me pull out the old French coffee press and kettle for a little variety and to try a different way of making my custom and crazy coffees while I tell you about it. Oh boy, lots and lots of good going on. As you can see, I've got a new canopy for $78, brand new, shipped to my door the very next day, and it even comes with the sandbags. Today, I've got $500 worth of solar panels, 10 of them, 100 watts rated. That's identical to the 12 right there, and the 2 more that you can't see right about there. That will make a total of 24 matching panels. I got that rack of 12 set up. It's been working great. Haven't even bothered to, oh, look at that nice little green spider right in front of me now, hanging from my hat. There he is. Is that a spider? No, I don't know what that is. A piece of, anyway, those panels over there, I'm gonna do something identical to it, but I think this time I'm gonna paint it, and I might as well make a little how-to video on doing it. First things first, we get our measurements. I went ahead and took the measurements, and it's 109 inches by 3 2x4s and 84 inches by 2 2x4s. So I'll get my 3 longer pieces out of this. Got my hammer and pry bar to clean out the nails and separate them, and then I got my 2 78 inch or 84 inch pieces right here, 7 feet long anyway. And then I need to make 4 legs about 3 feet tall, and then I need to make 8 more of the little pieces going this way. Oh, I also need to make 2 more about 9 feet, at least 9, maybe 10 feet long, for the very bottom where you see the little blocks sticking out. So to get all those made up, painted up, and this thing ought to last a lot longer, even though that thing's been up there, what, a year? I go up there and shake it, it's still solid as a rock. Doesn't seem to be rotting, even though it should. And this will help me get some of this stuff cleaned up. And I get use my little trailer table set up. I also have my neighbor who wants that, and I don't really want it anymore. So it's out of here, and might use that extra space to actually slide the table, trailer table, whatever you want to call it, up in there and work in there up under the shade and out of that weather. Hey, you know what? I was about to start smacking on this, and I remembered something. You know, I'm gonna get more proactive to protecting my hearing from more than just putting some earbuds in when I ride the riding lawnmower for a long period of time. And so I got myself some real deal something to actually take care of my hearing with active noise canceling or talk through ambient aware. Some nice JBL higher end model, and I can listen to my music too and talk on the phone, and they got good noise canceling for people listening to me talk as well. One thing they don't do is the video recording like I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, it's not picking up these headphones, so I could use it like a wireless set of microphones. It's still using the 2-on phone. But and I finally found me a pair of these sliders to fit over my big prescription goggles to finally allow me to wear them without sliding off my face and keeping the sun out so I ain't squinting and getting headaches. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, I got my pile cut up and pulled apart and cleaned out, and unfortunately it takes a lot more time than you'd think to deal with this old wood and finding the right pieces to fit in the right places. I think I might start actually spending money on some pressure treated wood from the hardware store, picking out some good pieces to make this a lot easier and more permanent next time. But I mean, I paid $10 for this pile of wood a long time ago, didn't even bother sorting it out. So anyways, 309 inches, two 98 inches to go across the actual roof, and the 309 inches are going this way, and then 284 inches are on the outside edges going that way. I got two 4.5 footers, 54 inches to go on the back side to give it a little bit of a downhill tilt towards the south, and a couple of 3.5 footers, 42 inches to do the other end. And I made sure I made these extra 6 inches tall on the table legs, if you will, to make sure it's at least 3 feet off the roof, whereas, you know, that one there's just, these two are just a little bit close on the you know, I don't know, a couple inches less than 3 feet, because I didn't give it that extra 6 inches. Anyways, so I'm going to be assembling it on top of the roof, and when I get done, then I'll come and take my measurements for the little cross bracing, put my screws up for the solar panels, and figure out the wiring. Alright, I've had a change of plans, or heart, whatever. You know, this camper may end up getting moved sometime soon. The walls, you know, it's got no framing along the edges. I really don't want to put all that weight right there when I've got to work on lifting these walls up. I looked at the other solar panel, I'm sure those ones too, but those solar panels there, despite the rain coming through a few days ago, is they're full of pollen and dust, and so I really need to get up there and clean them better, and it explains why I'm only getting 600 watts out of all the panels. Sorry about the jack. Anyway, so I'm going to go up there and clean those panels, and I'm just going to set those other panels somewhere. Got to clear it out somewhere, like right here. Not too far, because I really pretty much out of cord, but try to run the cord up under here and tie into those other panels. Alright, this is what I was talking about. See, it's no wonder I'm only getting 600 watts. Alright, I know this is taking a lot more time, especially since I just have my drill, don't have my drill driver, which would be nice because I could just switch tools for back and forth between screws. And anyway, point is though, I'm pre-drilling all of these the hard way. I'm drilling them through here, and then I'm lining this up, and then taking this and drilling this through here. So none of these should split and cause me trouble when I'm assembling it. Something else you gotta keep an eye out for when you're using a bunch of scrap wood is you see how that end there's kind of curved out. You want to get these really sharp 90-degree edges where the panels are going to be, because that's where you're going to be setting your screws in to hold them from getting blown out. And you want the straighter ones to be going this way, because you know that's where the panels are going to be. Side to side, it's not going to matter because there's only two sides. There's a little bit of play left in there. All right, now I'll put my little bracing up around the sides, and I'm ready to put the panels on. Oops, I made a boo-boo. I accidentally cut this 108 inches or 9 feet instead of 109 inches. Guess I got confused with all the different measurements, but I was able to fix it. Solar panels still sit in there just fine. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about. Anyway, it explains why you see all these holes right here is stretching out, and I couldn't quite get it to tighten up, and that's why. It was because an inch shorter than the other two. All right, I'm about ready to set the panels in, and what I did to try to make this whole situation easier, I took the tape measure. Came out about just a little over every 18 inches. Put a mark, put a mark, put a mark, put a mark. Did that all three of these. Then I came back down here and put a mark 4 inches and 14 inches, 4 inches, 14 inches, 4 inches, 14 inches, wherever it went. There we go, 14, and so on. Then I came and put just a little bit, about a 3/8 of an inch shorter than the panel, which is just shy of 1.5 inches, inch and 7/16, and put a mark, put a mark, put a mark, all the way around. And now I know where to set all my screws when I put the panels in. All right, I've got all the screws in. I'm ready to start putting panels in. Fortunately, it's a tight fit, but I was able to move this down just a little bit and move this down just a little bit to give me a little extra tiny bit of gap, but it's pretty tight in there, which is fine. Anyway, as you can see, about 3/8 of an inch, and what I'm going to want to do is come and drill about 45-degree angle or so in here and there, and in between each of these, all the way over and all the way along top. And then when I set the panel in, I put a screw in like this and make sure the head is, this, if this panel pushes up, it's going to catch right here, and the glass should never touch the screw head at this angle, is the theory, and so far so good on the other rack of panels. And make sure the screw head's in far enough that it's not putting a shadow over the panel. Because of the high risk associated with trying to put those screws in with the panels right there, and popping that, I would recommend after you drill these, take your drill gun, set your screw in, set them out, and then it'll make it easier to put them in gently once the panel's in. You can take what I said about pre-screwing these with a grain of salt. If you use the right drill bit, it's not a huge difference. Anyway, this right here is the effect we're looking for. See how it comes up, and the metal's the only thing that touches the screw. And just hit it. Wheel. Anyways. Well, now it's stuck in there for another reason. That's not good. I don't like that tension on there. All right, there it is. I got all the boxes out by the end of the driveway, and all 10 of my new panels installed. All I got to do is wiring, which is something else I wanted to mention. When you're setting them up, make sure you got these things facing the right way for whichever way you want to run your wires. Anyways, I got 2 more panels, matching panels way on that roof over there to fill in the 2 spots there, and then I'm done. But it's late. I'm calling it a day. See you tomorrow, or the day later, or whatever. Anyway, wiring. I think the simplest things to do is just wire these up in 3 sets of 4, and just connect them right to the 3 sets of 4 over there, and run it all on one wire, and just keep this on its own charge controller, since those are all individual, matching but different than these panels. Bye. Okay, I got the other 2 panels off the other roof across the way, and I got the cords pulled down off of there because I'll need these 2 sets of connectors, and the last connector I have to hook these up in 3 sets of 4, which is going to give me 80 volts at about 15 amps maximum. And instead of tying this into the other panels and running it to the single big charge controller, I just don't really have enough cabling, and it's going to make it kind of uneven if I run this to there and then all the way out to there and leave this hooked up to this big main wire. So instead, I'm going to reuse this wire in both charge controllers, those 12 panels. On the big charge controller, and this one here on the AM Inverter or whatever charge controller. Anyways, so these are going to be on 2 different charge controllers. Like I said, I'm going to use my last 3 connectors. I'll have an extra connector over. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got an extra connector off of the 3 panels I took off the roof that are over here now. And I got the connector on the roof of the RV for the 250 watt, 300 watt panel. So I may have enough connectors to hook all the panels back up again. I was thinking I was going to have to leave 1 set of panels. Anyway, this here, coming off of here, it's denting the roof a little bit. I needed to make the legs a little longer. Plus, you can see this thing tilting. I'm going to, like I said, have to raise the walls and everything. So that's coming off of there, and I'm going to end up putting that on my RV because I don't have another cable to run all the way, or I would leave it out here in the sun, but instead I'm going to put it right there. Apologize. The crows are going crazy this morning. Right there, I'm going to put that 5-panel rack, most likely right there, or maybe behind that over the bedroom and bathroom. That's actually probably where I'm gonna put it, is over the bedroom and bathroom vents right there. That's where I'm gonna put it. Then I'll have my cake and eat it too when it comes to keeping the rain and sun out, but letting the ventilation and light in. Like my new canopy. Oh, look what I found out here, by the way. Look at that. If I get it focus. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a fuse on it and something runs over your cord. I can't believe it didn't fry the panels, and I'm still getting 250 watts out of those 5 panels, even with all the dust and dirt on top of them. So I'm kind of glad I came in here and redoing this. Anyway, I found another piece of wire. I'm just going to take it off of that junction, add this, I don't know what, 15-20 foot piece of wire here to move this up the 15 or 20 feet I need over to the panels, and I've already got me a little waterproof breaker to put right by the panels this time. I'm not going to cheap out. Well, at least not on the breaker, or at least not having a breaker at all. It's probably overrated. Bye. Okay, it's not the prettiest job in the world, But what I do is I've got these 4 panels coming in, over, and then out. In, over, out. In, over, out. All 3 circuits tying up over here, and I was able to find just enough 10 gauge wire to make a solid 10 gauge connection from the charge controller over to the breaker, and it is finally breaker controlled with wire nuts, so there's nothing open touch. And according to everything, I should have my voltmeter out to check this, but according to logic, I click that and I should have power at my charge controller. Let's find out. I will have to add some junctions and some fit and finishing a little later, but for now, let's see. Just so you guys can see the routing, and then it goes right up in there where the power cord would normally go. And then the exciting part. Have charge? Yes, I do. Look at that. 51 watts, as a matter of fact, which is 77 volts. So I'm getting almost 80 volts compared to, what am I getting? Really? Am I getting 10 amps over here? No way. 200 watts. I'm only getting 50 watts. What is wrong? I should be getting more, huh? I don't know. Maybe it just needs some time to MPPT program or something. Man. Or maybe that's just a terrible charge control. You know what also might be the difference? The fact that the other ones are on the roof might already be past the tree line and not in the shade. I think that's what the difference is. Yes, that is exactly what is going on. Those solar panels are in the sun, and those ones are still in the shade for now. Not much longer though. You can see the tree line is right just a few feet from it. So okay, well that explains a lot. Well, that's pretty awesome. And I cleaned those panels off yesterday too. So I ought to, just between these 2 racks here, I ought to get over 1.5 kilowatts of usable energy. And then I should be able to pull another 300 off of that in the mid to late afternoon, setting it over there, plus the extra, I don't know, 150 or 200 I get off of that panel sitting over the living room. Then I got that extra 100 watt Renogy panel, and I'll have an extra cheap little PMW charge controller. I got those 2 12-volt batteries up front. I think I'm gonna set them up in there and start putting some 12-volt wiring in and a little charger, so I got some lights and a fan. Anyway, I'm done. Okay, I got the solar panels off of here, and this is one of the reasons why I want to get this off here, because you see these things bending that in. I don't think it's a major consequence, but still, I have to say, this is not that rubber material normal RV roofs are made out of. I may be able to peel this off and reuse this. May even be, I don't think it's aluminum, I think it's vinyl, but I might be able to reuse this RV roof. Just peel it off and re-glue it back on. Then I have to go spend about 450 bucks it costs for the material, plus wood glue and new plywood. Anyway, man, even rinsing that thing off with some pressured water yesterday did not clean those panels off very well, so I'm gonna have to find another way of doing it. But I've noticed that the whole thing is leaning over to the left a little bit, especially right there on that corner. It's not going to last much longer, so I really need to go ahead and get up there and redo it, take it down, whatever. Anyway, but now that the yard's getting cleaned up, I might have some room to move that back onto the yard too, which will make much easier maintenance. All right, I got the roof all cleaned up and everything ready to just slide off the end there. And guess what? It is an aluminum roof, and it's actually, other than this little hole and maybe a little dimple over there, there's no perforations in it. I should be able to peel this off and put it back on in the long run. I'm so glad I didn't sell this for a $50 profit the other day, especially if the AC still works. There, I've washed all 12 of these, 24 of these solar panels, and they're in the sunlight. It's getting about halfway in the day, so we'll see what we can get out of the pull out of these things. That's what I'm talking about. 500 watts and 500 watts. Good deal. Sure enough, I've got about a kilowatt coming into the batteries, and that's actually drawing about 180, 90 watts right now too, plus the lights and everything. Pretty awesome, J&K. We got it going on today. I guess we can take a quick break to just kind of compare roofs here and see. Before I bought this, somebody had taken the old roof off, put assuming new plywood down, OSB, and then put these sheets on like siding. This one, that one overlaps that one, that one overlaps that one, and these seams, every few years give me trouble, especially where you can see it dipping down. But now I've got the right type of sealant to put up here that should last 5 to 10 years at least, and I think I might use some of that butyl tape too under the seam as well, and just redo these. Or I might take and order me some of this corner trim that you can use up along these seams here, and you use it up along here. In fact, this one's got a gutter. I don't think this other one has a gutter because it's where the awning slides out. Yeah. So I might try to add a gutter to this later on. But either way, eventually these panels are going to come up. I'm going to raise up all the low spots and redo some of the framing in here, re-insulate it, and go from the inside and put 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch plywood most likely, or paneling back up on the underside and redo the walls and cabinets. But that's in the long run. Right now, just keeping these sealed up works just fine. Anyway, like I said, this RV's got a lot of holes punched in it. That other one got almost no holes punched in it, so it's going to be a perfect RV to rebuild, to resell. Anyway, time to slide these up, get these up here. But you know what? Even though I got that big, still huge 62cc, I think it is, blower, top, looks like one of the top, biggest blowers I could find. Still keep a little medium level Craftsman cordless, because just for stuff like this, man, it's so great. Same with the weed eater. And if this fails, I'll go get the brushless model, top of the line of that, to keep, because it's just up here on the roof and stuff, so handy. And that little, the electric weed eater, yesterday, man, took that spot up where I put the solar panels, knocked it down in a couple of minutes so I could get right to work on a nice clean area. All right, this is the other solar panel, if everybody wants to see it. It needs a good washing. I'll wash those other solar panels, get them up. And this afternoon, I would say after about noon to 1 o'clock, I ought to be getting some of my best readings, and I can see what I'm actually getting as a maximum, minus the 100 watt Renogy panel, which I just don't have anywhere to hook it up and use it right now. And can I say that I absolutely have just about fallen in love with these JBL 770s NC noise canceling. The noise canceling is great for giving my hearing a bit of protection and just blocking everything off if I want it, or if I turn the active noise awareness, ambient aware on, you know, I can hear people or other things around me while I listen to my music, and it still provides the hearing protection. It doesn't let the loud sounds through. Just having the music playing with the high quality these things really do put out is a big plus. And they, you know, fortunately, flat EQ actually sounds flat. There was some you know, discussions online on reviews that said it sounds better with this tweak, this tweak. Nah, these things actually sound like they should if they're good headphones. Very proper, everything flat. No spatial, Dolby, you know, surrounding anything enhancements on these, and they actually sound spatial. They don't sound like they're right up against your ears. Some of the instruments actually sound, you know, far off. And yeah, like I said, sometimes I forget I'm wearing headphones, and the ambient wear, or no, sometimes when there's like a little sound effects and stuff in the music, especially with the noise canceling on, it actually makes me like, because it sounds like it's actually coming from a distance, not from this speaker next to my ear. It's amazing. Anyway, just thought I'd share this just huge upgrade to life and work. Play and work. Yeah. All right. Back to it. Okay. I think I figured out a way to mitigate the issue with the roof hump on many of these RVs with this setup I got going on. And that is, first of all, to make sure these are up just a little bit, but put these blocks here. Now it's completely up off the roof. All four corners. Put a couple screws in them crooked to hold these to that. And you know, on my setup, you know, this is unique, but you know, these blocks actually allowed me to slide it around so that I could avoid these screws and put this flat on here. But what I'm saying is I could take the screw out and put some sealant in there and get me a little metal flange and actually bolt that to the frame of the RV. And something else I could do is I can use these sticking out over here. That's almost right out the middle of the front door. Put me a little piece of metal over there, you know, and just have it hang out and cover the door a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, this works out pretty good. But oh, what I was saying was, you know, if I don't want to bolt this to the RV roof with some little brackets, which at this point makes no sense, it's a great idea, I can always tie these off to the ground or up under the RV or back around. The only issue I would have with that is that one right there, as you can see, doesn't line up with that. I'd have to do something else about it. But now time to clean the solar panels off, get my little cordless sawzall out, cut these branches down out of the way, put the solar panels in, and then find another piece of wire long enough to run right down the wall into that outlet, up the wall, and move that solar charger POWMR over to here. And then I should be able to use these solar panels this afternoon and even right now in the shade. Check this out. This is actually running off of my water pump and internal tank. How handy is that? I can just sit here and wash this off without having to hook up to a hose right now, just for convenience sake. Kind of nice. Or, because this valve is broken, I should be able to do the same thing over here. Maybe. I guess not. Maybe that thing self-corrected. I don't know. Just make sure they're both off. I made that thing self-corrected. Oh, but now I got a water drip. I got to tighten that up. Shoot. I caused myself some trouble. Should have just left it alone. Fortunately, I got new washers and everything, and this is a nice high quality piece. So all I had to do was just tighten it back up and make sure it lined up, and Oop, stop dripping. Anyways, back to washing solar panels and putting them up. Okay, I got all the solar panels on, got them hooked together. I just got to run the wires. But you know, I'm realizing a couple of things. First of all, the profile, by the time these are getting sun, the sun will be already heading down in that direction. So I think the best thing is going to be in the long run is to tilt these solar panels. And the other thing is these things falling down, and I mean, even in the 20 minutes I was done, I already brushed 4 or 5 of them off and there's already some on, and that's going to block light. So like I said, I might want to put a real hard tilt on it so that most of the stuff will fall off, and I might have to redo the lower edge so the stuff won't build up as well. But the main thing this thing are really going to do right now is provide shade for this area here, block the rain from splashing right off the roof and up into there, so I can have that open in the rain. If I ever choose to use the air conditioner, which doesn't seem to work long term, anyway, it's under the shade too. That's the reason why I put it here. To be honest with you, the best spot for this right here would actually be right up on the edge over here, again with the panels tilted something like that to catch the sun as it's going down. And the shadow will also move this way across the roof instead of here. By the time the sun's out over here, the shadow is not going to be on the roof anymore. So I'll probably end up adjusting that sooner than later. Anyway, I washed that panel off, hooked these wires down there, moved the charge controller, and I'm done with this project. Alright, I did it. Probably one of the most retarded ways possible. I guess, you know, I left the solar panels on here while I was rearranging it, which I guess high risk. But anyway, come over here with the Sawzall, just chop those off to avoid any shadows, and that's about the best I can make out of these panels. And actually, you know, sun's not even directly overhead, and you know, the vast majority of these panels is, at least half of the panels is out of the shade already. Good deal. However, I now lost my right in the middle of the day shade. Like I said, I mean, it's almost half and half. It's so crazy. But you know, the other thing I might be able to do, I don't know, I'll shut up. Oops. And I don't know how, because this RV kind of goes downhill towards the back, but it actually looks like the panels are tilted that way just a little bit, and they really need to be tilted that way. Oh well, maybe I'll get a couple more blocks and raise those up a little and try to level it, or maybe not. Look at that. Air conditioner is on, and I am got my batteries topped off, and it's not even noon time, and I don't even have those last 5 panels hooked up yet. Amazing. J&K, I think we've got a success so far today. Oh, that air conditioner feels pretty good already, and it's not even that hot today. Yeah, this is pretty amazing with the air conditioner running. It's only pulling about 800 or 900 watts off the solar chargers. You know what though? This one's doing that up and down thing exactly like this EA SunPower used to do. So maybe that isn't a problem with the chargers. Maybe it's a issue with the way I got this place wired up and running. I don't know. But the important thing is that I'm completely running off of the solar chargers now and keeping my batteries topped off. Again, the sun's not even up on that rack of 5 right there, and they're not even hooked up because I got to move that charger controller over there beside the others. Alright, AC compressor just kicked on, went down negative 200 watts, negative about 120 watts. Will it even back out with the TV on? Come on now. Well, there it goes. Look at that. I am officially I mean within 60 watts, 60 or 80 watts anyway. TV's on, stereo's on. Oh, subwoofer's not on. Okay, well, here, let's turn on a subwoofer. Boom. There, now subwoofer's on. And I'm breaking even, everybody. And I bet if my batteries were discharged, I'd probably be charging at least a couple hundred watts. Awesome. J&K, looks like we got air conditioning this year. Alright, there we go. All three charge controllers are connected. Air conditioner, TV working on a net positive. I think I'm good to go. And sure enough, it's doing what I was hoping it would do with the shadow creeping across the roof as the sun gets overhead. Listen to that air conditioner, it's pretty noisy. Maybe a mini split's on the way soon. Wow, I've got to give myself some credit. I wasn't even thinking about being perfect for east to west. And look at that. It really is. That's, I mean, almost lined right up perfectly. Yeah, I guess it could be that way just a little tiny bit, but man, it's so close. But if I do that, it'll give me a little extra on the afternoon, won't it? Because even being 3 o'clock, yeah, that was doing actually facing a little better at the sun. Anyway, so these will be just a touch better in the morning. Those will be a little touch better in the afternoon. But man, yeah, pretty amazing. Anyway, I just started running a net negative a little after 3 o'clock on the air conditioner when the compressor runs. You know, we're talking, I don't know, 80, 100 watts. And but as soon as the AC cycles, it builds it right back up in a matter of minutes. But the way I'm gonna work on that is probably get me at least 2 more batteries, maybe 4 more batteries. That way I can take some of this extra energy and try to get it where I can run the air conditioner, you know, 2 to 4 hours without the sun on full batteries, without even touching the battery, you know, my power usage right now, the way I run things now. And another 5 kilowatts will easily do that. 2 more batteries will at least give me 2 or 3 more extra hours on the air conditioner. And I'm talking, you know, with no sunlight. With the sun coming in the way it is, like I said, it's only, you know, 100 watt net negative when it's cycling. If I turn the TV off or some of the fans, you know, I could probably bring it right back down to the 0 for another hour or so till about 4 o'clock. And, you know, by then it's already cooling off, so the air conditioner's not going to be working as hard. I think I got a good thing going. Oh, I take that back. I'm back to zeros again on a full charged battery with the air conditioner running. I don't think the refrigerator is running though. Maybe that's the 100 extra watts I'm getting. Still, like I said, a couple extra batteries and I've really got this system straightened out, figured out, eh, J&K? Oh, wait a minute. I've been so busy, I haven't even eaten a meal today. I've got something sitting in there trying to thaw out so I can make me spaghetti, chop me up a tomato, put some sauce in it, cook it up, and have a lot of fun eating some delicious spaghetti, eh? Alright guys, guess we're gonna call that an air-conditioned day. Yeah, it's almost 4:30 and I'm still pulling about 800 watts off of these chargers, so 400 watts each set. 40 or so off of the 5 panels right above me. And who even cares about the one over the living room? But that's pretty amazing. I'm getting up, creeping up to 5 o'clock, still pulling just enough power to run the air conditioner. Pretty amazing. So that means that I would, you know, between the refrigerator, if I was running the TV, you know, all these big fans that I got running, you know, I'm probably starting to get into a negative 100 to 200 watts an hour. By the time it gets to 5:30, 6 o'clock, the AC will probably be getting to the point where it won't even be getting much from the sun. Be half supported or so. 5:30, 6 o'clock, I imagine it'll pretty much be nothing worth anything out of the panels, and I'll be completely on the batteries. And that's why I was saying a few extra batteries will take all this extra energy that I had earlier that was just being wasted when these things would zero out because the battery's full and the AC wasn't pulling enough to cause them to charge the batteries. Or anyway, point is, all the extra sunlight I didn't put into the batteries that didn't get used by the air conditioner would get put into bigger batteries, causing me to run the air conditioner longer. Because right now, you know, as soon as I hit about 80%, you know, that's when I go ahead and start shutting everything down. You know, running the TV. What I was getting at was, I think I might be able to squeeze it down to about 70%, since the panel should be kicking the batteries in a little bit better in the morning. But I don't know, I'm not going to risk it tonight. It's not a hot evening anyway. It's like peaked at 81 degrees today. Had the thermostat set at 76, and it's done more than a good enough job. Alright, buddies. I think I got what I was looking for to make a video today. AJ and K, anything else to say today? Yeah, that's amazing. It's past 4:30 and I just clipped 500 watts into my batteries. Yeah, 4:30 in the afternoon. That's a new record right there. And that's with everything running but the air conditioning compressor and the TV. Turn the air conditioner fan off and open some windows. I probably gain 40 or 50, 30 or 50 watts off that motor. Pretty awesome. Anyway, the idea though is that now I should be able to cook in here with the window open a little bit and the fan pulling the heat off of this away. Air conditioner may have to run a little more to compensate, but it ought to keep this place cool. Instead of having to open all the windows and everything, this ought to work out. We'll see. Yeah, this is crazy, y'all. It's going on 5 o'clock. I'm over here cooking with 2 burners, and the air conditioner is not even running super hard. I mean, again, it's not a super hot day, but just this little setup here is working good. But I walk up into here, and you know, it's not even super duper hot, but it's kind of stale. But it's the humidity. You can just feel the humidity. Even the moving air just feels so humid now. You know, I'm used to it, but wow, what a difference. Just in the humidity. Wow. Oh, anyway, trying to get the can opener out. Cut up a tomato and make me some sauce. Alright, it is 10 minutes after 5 Central Daylight Time on April 17th, 2025, and I have just hit a negative 500 watts with my air conditioner running, those 2 fans running, the fan in the bedroom going top speed, the lights, the 2 computers, the phone, light strip, you know. So like I said, at this point I could leave the air conditioner on for, I don't know, probably about an hour and a half or 2, Or I could probably turn the TV on for, well, till I go to bed. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's amazing. I'm done with dinner. There it is if y'all want to see it. Romano, Parmesan cheese, fresh sliced tomatoes, pound or so of ground turkey, and a little over half a pound of noodles, and a big can of this stuff, which I have to say smells better than the Walmart brand. Alright, J&K, you enjoy your dinner, and I'm going to enjoy mine. Oh, this is absolutely amazing. It is feeling like a refrigerator on this half of the place. And so I turned this AC on, got it blowing over there, and I was still positive about 160 watts into the batteries with the big TV on, stereo, subwoofer, surround sound, television, 2 big fans over there on medium, pushing the air that way. Refrigerator, who knows if it was on or off, but you know, that's 80 to 100 watts out of the 160 coming in, so partly cloudy, both air conditioners running, TV on, and let's assume the refrigerator wasn't running, or maybe it was. I'm still on a net positive. And what time is it? 12:30 in the afternoon. My battery's already topped off, and I've been running that air conditioner since 10:30, and I just turned the other air conditioner on. Amazing, J&K. Those are the results I was looking for. Well, it's getting to be at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a partly cloudy day. Not really very much direct sunlight for the most part. J&K are staying cool with me today. I think the temperature is supposed to get up to about 85 degrees. And I am proud to say that my batteries are topped off. With both air conditioners, the TV, the surround sound, all 4 of my subwoofers running, both of my big fans pushing the air across, and even the second air conditioner kicking in, and it's a perfect space where I've got it sitting. It points over right there at the bottom of the bird cage. How about that for convenience? That is an absolutely perfect spot to have set that air conditioner, and I'm glad I left it there. And again, I can't believe how well my off-grid hybrid is keeping up with 2 air conditioners in here, and they're not even struggling at 85 degrees. Of course, 10 degrees higher up in the 95s, maybe things will be different. And how do you like my extra phone setup? This Note 20 I'm recording on goes right there with another cord to charge it on, so that I can use it to answer calls and get better reception for those calls. Not too terrible, huh? Pretty good use of space and sortability. Oh, I guess that's charged up. That's pretty cool too. That's got a charging port that's actually becoming kind of handy for stuff like that. And I guess it's time to top off the JBLs. I'll be using those to get out on the blower, do a little more work today. And then I guess anyway, yeah, I was doing that list earlier. I also got that computer running non-stop. That phone's hooked up non-stop. I've got that USB adapter hooked up non-stop. Or USB power outlet hooked up non-stop. Microwaves hooked up non-stop. Just the clock and everything. The transformer for this chair. Lots of little things. You see I got 2 USB plugs over here. Another plug for, oh, this is so cool. I wanted to show off. I got a bug zapper. It actually, ooh, there goes a bug too. But I got a cord and a little mount for it that swings out, and it actually lights up and attracts the bugs. And I have it hanging out over here at night when I turn off most of the lights to help clean up the bugs, and it's been working. It's been keeping all the little bugs that come up out of the sink away. And that's not including my other two little bug zapper rackets. I don't have a, that's kind of a backup, and that's just, that's a backup, that's my main one. And you know what, J&K, it's almost time to eat again today. Well, so now J&K have their own air conditioner. Better, and it's a ultra low consumption device, so you know, with all these panels and everything, I think I can be confident, leave the thermostat about halfway and just leave that on when I'm gone. Even with the windows open, if it gets hot enough, at least it's blowing cold air right at them to help keep them cool on the hottest days. I think I can do that. You know, if I got to go to the store or church or work on somebody's car, or even later today I'm going outside to go get the blower and do some more touch up and try my new $40 scoop shovel I got at Walmart yesterday or the day before, and find a pump, because all the Walmart Hyper Tough pumps keep failing me. So now I don't have a pump for my lawnmower tire because the bead's leaking, and I'm too lazy to go out there and fix it, because I'm afraid I won't be able to reseat the bead and everything else. And oh yeah, that really helps me with my back problems. I don't know why I didn't use one of those earlier. Oh, wait, I want to interject. Yeah, the birds got their own air conditioner, but you know what I just realized? Like I said, the air is coming out right here perfectly to the birds. You can feel it coming across the table as well, so the table's probably actually helping keep it from going down too much. But I'm wondering, because I can feel it up under on the table, I wonder if maybe it's time to move this table up or down, or even out of the way for now, or maybe just leave it as it is. Because you know, like I said, the air goes this way, and of course it goes down to the floor. You can feel the floor is a lot cooler. You know, maybe I get the air to point up a little bit by moving this table down or out of the way is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know. Boy, is it handy right there, though. We'll see. Alright, how about that? Sure enough, with the table down and this table pushed not too far out from the wall where the air wants to catch on the table and try to go under it, but out as far as I can get it to the edge of the armrest for comfort on using my trackball, which I ought to do a video on that. That's a very interesting experience. Anyway, I think right there is going to be the best spot for this phone to just rest and charge, as long as it doesn't get in the way. I think that's a great spot for my battery meter phone for now, and maybe for the longer run. But anyway, so now the air doesn't blow as turbulently, but it definitely blows this way much more without the tabletop in the way. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is probably not keep the air conditioner right there forever, but I think I'm just going to come in here and build me an actual custom table in here, and the idea will be that it won't have these crazy legs on the inside. It'll be supported this way so that you can get this chair like it is now, tuck it up under here and use it from both sides. But the advantage is I mean, you can feel it, the air is just barely going right by this cup, so I really do got the direction, you know, and there's no air to just a barely little tiny teeny, I mean not even really nothing, so there's nothing blocking the air going this way now, which is ideal. But like I said, this little tiny bit passing by help keep my drink a little cold. How about that? Alright, J&K, other than building that table later this week, I don't think there's anything else I'm going to shoot on this video today. So this time I'm really going to try to actually stop. Well, I got the bug zapper going. Turned on a few lights, check a few things. It is about 9 o'clock at night. I've got almost 80% of my batteries left. Running a couple of fans. Bug zapper going since before it got dark. Haven't turned the big screen TV off. Had both air conditioners going until about 5 o'clock in the evening, and had full batteries going when I shut them off. Amazing, absolutely amazing how good the extra solar panels are doing me. And as you can see, almost 4 kilowatts from these panels, which means I got at least 4 kilowatts out of these, because remember, these actually hit the sunlight a little bit earlier in the morning, but not by much, I imagine. Anyway, so the last 2 days I've got 10 kilowatts, 10.5 kilowatts out of just these two. This, I imagine, doesn't count for a whole lot, but actually does kick in the afternoon with those panels facing the setting sun. So I probably get, I don't know, enough to run almost a refrigerator and the TV till probably for an extra hour or two, more than these two give off. But anyway, with this power curve you see here, remember, this is a partly cloudy, I'd say almost mostly cloudy day. I peaked at 750 watts, and this power curve is a little bit to do with the clouds, but a little also to do just with the power consumption. The batteries got charged up, the air conditioner come on, come off, come on, come off, come on, come off, maybe. I don't know, but this is interesting. I'd like to go ahead and maybe kind of keep track of this stuff a little better. Anyways, so this is day 2 of having 24 panels, and I can verify that I have pulled at least a maximum of 1.5 kilowatts off of the 24 panels. I paid $1,200. I got 1,500 kilowatts, so that's like what, 1.15, 1.2 kilowatts a dollar, I mean watts a dollar. The energy panel, $100 energy, $110 energy panel rated at 100 watts would never do that. It'd probably only put out about 80 or 90 in the best of the best. And it's about, oh, we missed the boat. There we go. Yeah, we caught it. Yeah, buddy. I love that thing. That thing is amazing for $15. Rechargeable, 2 different modes, portable, foldable. I've got to buy me another one and just get rid of those 2. Those things, I haven't hardly killed a single bug with it. See, here, that thing just going off. Even with the lights on, it's still attracting the bugs. That is just, that's where it's at. I'm just loving these bug zappers, J&K. Alright guys, this is amazing. I'm going to try to stop shooting a bunch of footage and call this quits today. I was determined to spend about $400 to $600 for major quality of life improvements and dealing with the darker days. I was searching hard for a 4,000 watt gasoline powered inverter generator with remote start and a cheap Chinese engine. The tariffs pushed me to buy another rack of solar panels now instead of later. I made the right choice. I barely need my American-made gas generator at all, and I definitely don't care to replace it anymore. I hope you liked that video at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you care to, and stay tuned because the adventure isn't over. I'm going to add a third air conditioner in my bedroom and extend the front and back walls. My relocation is coming soon, and it seems there's so much more in store and to be created, it's currently indescribable. Thanks for watching. Bye.